Good morning people, hello and welcome to a new vlog episode of the India Darshan travel series. As you can see, we have hit the road. The next stop is a new city further down south. Bangalore is 553 kilometers from here, Kurnool is 197 and Kanyakumari is 1218 kilometers from here. So, although I really want to get to Bangalore, but it is a bit too far, so maybe Kurnool is a good via point for the night. Let's see, let's get going. It's very noisy out here, so can't really vlog for too long. Let's get going, let's hit the road. किस चीज़ का? बैंगलोर जी सर। इधर हैदराबाद में रुका था सर। जी सर। हाँ जी सर, थैंक यू। So that, my friends, was my first ever traffic stop on the All India ride, the India Darshan. Basically, I was taking the side lane at the toll plaza, as you would normally do with a small vehicle. You go on the side, you don't pay the toll fees. And there was this lady traffic cop and then her colleague, and then they asked me to pull over. So I did. I had a feeling that I did not give them a reason for a traffic fine. So this was probably one of those stops where they harass you for having an out-of-state vehicle. So I decided to stay composed, and instead of escalating, just politely asked them what was the reason why they pulled me over. And the lady started scrolling through the tablet trying to figure something out, because as I said, I never gave them a reason for a fine, so she had no reason to pull me over, but she did anyways. So then her colleague understood that I was from outside, and then the camera was rolling at the time, luckily. I'll blur out both their faces for privacy, but I have their faces captured as well. So then he just asked me where you're coming from, where you're going, and he said you're free to go. So that was that. Like, there was no reason for them to stop me. So anyways, I'm at a gas station now, gonna rest up. They have water here, so gonna eat the leftover biryani here, hang out for a bit, and then continue the ride further. That was a really nice brunch break, and there are these 3 birds here, goose I think. They are also walking around happily free, and they are hiding in the shelter. They are not crossing over to the sunshine. Anyways, let them enjoy their peace. All done here, gonna grab some water and then we'll continue the ride. Just stopped here for a mini drinks break in the shade, and I noticed most of these restaurants have a sort of extended outdoor counter, so you can dine right here instead of going all the way in, and they have a very big campus here. A lot of restaurants along the highway are doing it this way. There's a kitchen inside, but they serve here, right here in disposable plates. I think it's idli, dosa, sambar, etc. out here. So I'm done resting. Let's go, keep going. It's pretty hot now, 12 noon. Time to bear the heat. So it's 1:12 p.m. We are about to reach Kurnool. It's just 18 kilometers. Anantapur is 165 and Bangalore is still too far at 372. So I guess after Kurnool we would need one more stop at Anantapur. But we'll see about that. For now we'll just get to Kurnool and then anchor down for the night, take it easy. We'll see. If we need 2 stops to get to Bangalore, so be it. Now that I'm approaching Bangalore, I'm starting to see a lot more bikers all geared up for the long tours. I don't know if they are going to Kanyakumari or just they are from nearby regions and going to Bangalore for work. Whatever be the reason, it's always fun to see more riders on the road. So made it to the city of Kurnool, and there is this sort of commercial complex. In the 3rd floor there is this lodge, so gonna go check out if the rooms are reasonable and stay here for maybe one night. So got myself a room. We are close to the Tungabhadra river, so I'll go walk there in the evening. The guy said because it's the summer the water level would be very low. I think there is a mall right here, and then as I saw in the poster, there are a couple of temples all around and 1 caves, but everything is like 80 to 100 kilometers one way, so I don't think I'll be doing that. So gonna stay here for one night. So gonna offload all the bags, go up, do the formalities and check into my room. Took myself a very single small accommodation, the basic one, no AC. Alright, so this is my single occupancy room. So pretty spacious for a single occupancy. A single bed, there's a editing desk and chair, there's a storage cabinet, there's a wash basin area, and then there's a bathroom. All in all, pretty happy with the price. So just gonna rest up. The Wi-Fi isn't working at the moment, so have nothing much to do per se. But I'll go downstairs. There's a basement parking, so I'll park Fortuner there, rest up, drink some water, wait for the heat to cool off. Then in the evening we go and venture out again. Also, now that we have crossed over to Andhra Pradesh, that's a new state that we have added. Actually Telangana split up from Andhra Pradesh, but now they are counted as 2 separate states. The language barrier is a whole lot more pronounced now. There's nobody speaking Hindi anymore. English also, they speak with a very heavy accent, so it goes over the top of my head, so it's a little bit difficult. So you have to use a mix of all the languages and sign languages and whatever you can throw around to get the message going. But yeah, so anyways, I'm all settled in now. I'm gonna rest up for 1 to 2 hours, and maybe 5 p.m. would be a good time to start venturing out. It gives us decent amount of time to rest. Alrighty, time to venture out for the evening expedition. So first we have to go down to the ground floor. This time I'm just taking the stairs. On the 2nd floor for the room, the reception was on the 3rd floor. So let's go down. I think the heat has cooled off as well, and there isn't much in terms of views in the neighborhood. So guard bhaiya mentioned there are a bunch of eateries this way, but the waterfront is that way. The thing is, Tungabhadra river has some offshoot branches of the river coming along in different directions here. I'll just pick one whichever is nearest and go there, but for now, since I had the leftover biryani, I'm hungry again, so I'm gonna have some snacks or something, like not a full-fledged meal at this point. Came to check out the riverfront. This is the Handri river, and over there it kind of unifies with Tungabhadra, but the situation is pretty grim. The water is low and there's a lot of garbage here and it stinks a lot. So well, I guess I'm better off just going back. So didn't expect this because there are a bunch of temples along the riverfront area as well, but it is what it is. Anyways, let's start going back. I guess Kurnool doesn't have a whole lot to offer. There were some snacks along the way because the Ramadan fasting for the day ended, so I found something to eat, but that was that. So tomorrow we continue the ride. got here a little bit too early, so not a whole lot of choices and definitely no sandwiches. They are on the way. So I had a couple of bakeries lined up there, and there's also these kind of sweet shops here. They always have pure ghee sweets at the end, the qualifier. And I tried some last night. Most of them are very similar to what we have in North India as well, so nothing special there. But they are really good in case if you're craving some sweets. So I had some chai and Osmania biscuit done with breakfast. Now let's continue the ride. Should be just a short and sweet 2.5 to 3 hour ride today. We are somewhere in Karidi Konda, and there's a temple on the top of a hill. Wow, it looks really nice. Don't have time to go up for a trek though, but it looks really cool on the highway. And see how peaceful this highway is. No honking, no noise. Really loving this ride. Stopped for a little refueling break at the gas station, and I spotted something really cool. The traditional huts out here. The place seems closed. It's a family restaurant, so they probably have this as a outdoor seating area. Looks really cool with the thatched roof and naturally air conditioned for this kind of heat. And not a super clean place though, but anyways. So wanted to take a quick look. We're about half an hour away from Anantapur, so just taking it easy, and there's a lot of hills along the way, so the views are pretty nice. I'm seeing these food carts along the way. They call them tiffins, like the dosa, vada and sambar. Ooh, an army truck. Maybe we'll stop at one of them just close to the city to grab some brunch along the way. Not quite sure what to expect from Anantapur. Seems like a small place. So before we get into the chaos of finding ourselves a good place to stay, at least along the go, can have some snacks. These are very kind people. Some little bit of language barrier, but otherwise was pretty good. They have idli, dosa, some sort of fried rice and something else. I don't know what that is. I had idli, vada, dosa. I had 2 dosa actually. She's making them fresh and very crispy. All that costed me just 100 rupees. And then they also have drinking water, hand wash, everything is sorted right here. All done. Brunch is sorted. So let's continue another half hour or so. Alright, so finally made it to Anantapur. Got a teeny tiny room in the middle of a market street. So that's pretty much the room. There's a bathroom here. Nothing fancy, very basic budget room. And they say they have Wi-Fi here, so I'll go down to the reception to get the Wi-Fi password. And other than that, I asked the people sitting at the counter, and they said there is nothing much to see around here. They say there is a giant tree that owns a Guinness World Record for being spread in 8 acres, but that's about 100 kilometers from here, and it's really not worth it going all the way there. So there's that, and other than that, there's nothing else. So we're gonna rest up, and then in the evening, we're gonna go out to explore the market and grab a bite to eat. For now, I'm all set after the tiffin that I ate along the way, so I'm just gonna rest up. Alright, finally it's evening time to go out and explore. So there is also a nice bigger hotel, Masineni Grand here. This is mine, Ramesh Residency. It's more on the budget side. And there are more like hardware shops along the way, but there's also a diner right here. We're just gonna walk around a little bit, see what else they have. It's just 5:30, so the heat has died down. So let's start with snacking and end with dinner because there's nothing else to see here in the city anyways. Looks like no YouTuber comes to this city, or not many YouTubers exist in the city. Like every time somebody sees me vlogging, they get very curious and they start focusing on what I'm doing, what's happening out here. Normally in the bigger cities, people are like, okay, yeah, okay, fine, another YouTuber, nothing to worry about. But here people get very conscious and they start staring. So if you're an introvert or a conscious vlogger, that might bother you a little bit. For me now, I've gotten used to it. Like, see that the guy, he was also looking into what I was doing. So this is something unique of the smaller towns. Traffic in the city is very, very chaotic. There are cops, but still everybody is going all over the place. When I got here from the market street, it was a bit painful to get to the hotel, but anyways, now that's why I'm walking on purpose. Every time I find fruits, I try to eat them as much as possible, especially in the hot weather. Here the gigantic watermelons they really make me crave watermelons. So it's 25 rupees a kg out here, which is really economical. But if you get the cut fruit, of course, it's a little bit expensive. I think they give you 200-300 grams or so in a quarter plate for the same price. So it was 20 rupees for a plate. But anyways, it's better than not having it at all. Super excited puppy, just roaming around in the streets. How's it going, brother? All good? I wish there was a grocery store nearby. I could have grabbed some biscuits or some yogurt for the puppy, but there's mostly sweet shops around. Can't really feed sweets to a dog, so I guess we just have to bid farewell and keep walking. It's just 6 p.m. and I'm already done exploring town. That's pretty much all there is, other than some hardware and Home Depot kind of shops that I don't really need. That was Halim round 2, and double ka meetha, the sweet, was a little bit too much sweet for my liking. So I'll find something a little bit more savory and call it a night. They were 100 rupees each, so in 200 rupees and then a little bit more for a savory snack. And then we'll be done for the night. And then tomorrow we'll be on a move to our official big city destination of Bangalore, where we'll be anchoring down for a few nights. So see you in the morning as we start the ride. Good morning, people. This is the next day and we are finally leaving Anantapur, saying goodbye to Andhra Pradesh and heading over to Bangalore, Karnataka, or now it's known as Bengaluru. We have about 221 kilometers to cover, so it's about 5 hours for the day. There's this nice big church here, town congregational church. Saw that last evening while walking around. We just got done refueling. We'll look for a small tapri like place for a brunch break. Been riding for almost 1.5 hours already, so it's a good place to take a break. Brunch break. Hard luck, this shop is winding down because of the road works, so they only have tea, coffee, nothing else to eat. There was a language barrier, but the locals helped me understand what she was saying, so let's keep going. Maybe another shop we'll find something to eat. This time it worked. I grabbed myself a biscuit, a coffee. They ran out of samosa and other snacks, but they said you can get a plain dosa or an egg dosa, so I got myself a dosa, and with farm views and nice shade, I'm just gonna rest here by the highway and grab some brunch, because last night's dinner was a little bit too early and it's 10:30 already, so time for some snacking break. Alright, time check, it's 11:45. I'm just 60 kilometers away from Bangalore. And as it happens, a close friend of mine happened to move to Bangalore for work. So they have agreed to host me for the duration of my stay, which is nice. I'm going to be staying with them, which also means that I'm going to end this vlog here in order to not have to vlog in or around their locality unless they are comfortable with it, to protect their privacy. So Fortuner is parked up there under the shade. I'm just resting up here a little bit. Found a nice setup. So these are Holstein cows. They are all grazing happily in the corner, and I'm seeing a lot of people that have set up vineyards around here along with the fresh tender coconut trees. So maybe wine is pretty prominent in this area. That's pretty nice, because I don't think you can grow anything else in a setup like this. Let's take a closer look. I'm just walking around, stretching my legs for a little bit, because we have a very short distance left anyways. It does look like a grape vineyard. Maybe the grapes are yet to grow, but look at the amount of shade they have underneath. And the height is pretty good. You can actually stand and you can park your two-wheelers underneath. So the height from the ground clearance is pretty nice. So yeah, that's it for this episode of the India Darshan travel series. I'll be heading on over, and then in the next episode, when I'm done resting and refreshed and caught up with the friend of mine, we'll be exploring Bangalore and nearby areas. I'm seeing some places along the way already, because even in a 100-kilometer radius from Bangalore, there is a lot to explore. But I'm not really sure if I want to come back all the way 100 kilometers, explore, go back, or what I'll end up doing. We'll see when we start exploring Bangalore. I'm sure the city itself has a lot to offer, and then we'll be venturing out. So with the happy cows grazing, I'll end this vlog right here, and I'll see you again in another episode. This is the Rustic Wanderer signing off.